This video is all about Udemy, and I want to give you 25 tips to help you to make great online courses on Udemy. Well, what has Udemy done for me? Let me just give you a quick snapshot of where I am today with Udemy. That's my lifetime earnings, over $14,000. But look at what has happened to me since October. I've bumbled along for a little while. Well, I actually went on for about a year, struggling to really make it click. And then suddenly, without actually creating any major new courses, my earnings have jumped up and I'm now at a new plateau. And I believe as I add more courses, then that is going to increase even further. I'm currently annualizing over $25,000, and this is growing all the time. So just think how exciting that could be for you. In this video, I'm going to cover basically tips on the first 3 stages of creating a Udemy course. The first stage is planning, the second is production, and the third is publication. Now, I've got 25 tips for you, which will all help you to create a fantastic online course on Udemy. But I've also got a secret bonus for you at the end. So stick with me to find out what that is. So let's look at the first tip. The first tip is all about getting your title right. Now, the title is the thing that captures the attention of your potential student. And it's very, very simple to get this right, although you can do a lot of redrafting, but the formula for getting a really good title is topic plus audience plus key benefit. Remember, the audience, the student, is all about what's in it for me. They want to know why they should take your course. So you tell them the topic, you tell them it's addressed to them, and then you explain to them why they're going to benefit from doing your course. The next point is to make sure that you have your course targeted at a specific audience. You need to be clear who your course is for before you even start to create it. So when you're in the planning phase, you need to be very clear that you're creating a course for accountants or for cooks or for people who own dogs. Whoever it is, have your course audience very firmly in your mind during the planning process so that you actually specifically create that course for the audience that you have in mind. WIIFM, one of my favorite little acronyms in this whole course process. It means what's in it for me. That is the question that the student, the potential student, is going to be asking of your course the whole time. And this is the major point you need to get across to them. You need to communicate in your course description, in your title, in your subtitle, in your lecture titles, in your section titles, even in your instructor bio, what is going to be in it for the student who's enrolling in one of your courses. And that will convince them that there's enough benefit in it for them to enroll in your course. Now, course images are very important. Udemy is a particularly visual platform, and every course has its own image. But the really good news is you don't have to create your own images. And I'm really relieved about that because I'm really not good at doing any of this sort of image stuff. But Udemy have a service where they'll create your image for your course, and I strongly recommend that you take up that service. They've created literally thousands of images, so they've got a very good idea about what works, and it's going to be a real help to you to take that one item, which can take an awful lot of time, off your to-do list and give it to the people who really know what they're doing. The course description is one of the most critical parts of your course creation process. When you're planning your course, you need to have a description of your course very firmly in mind so that you can create and cover the points that I'm talking about here. Remember, the course description is primarily there to sell your course. So you need to make sure that you address the audience for whom it is intended. You need to communicate the benefits of taking the course. You must show some social proof in your course description. You can do this by pointing out how many students have enrolled. You can say how many reviews you've got. And the thing I particularly like doing is quoting, once I've got a few reviews up, some of the people who have left me nice reviews, 5-star reviews in Udemy. I actually put some of those reviews straight into the course description. Fantastic social proof. You need to try to address some of the objections, any of the objections that people might have to taking your course. They don't have enough experience. Maybe they don't have enough money. Can they afford not to take it? Is it relevant for them? Will it work for them? All these sorts of objections that they may come up with. And you need to be able to allay their fears. And one of the biggest ways of doing that is actually to put in a guarantee. Now, let me tell you something you probably already know, which is that Udemy offers a 30-day back guarantee anyway. But it does you no harm to say, I back that up, and to really make it a selling point. Remind the potential student, because they may not know that Udemy has this 30-day policy and that you offer that policy on your course. So it's really important to de-risk the investment for the student. Finally, make your course description readable. Break it up, have short paragraphs, put in bullets, put in italics, put in bold, put in headings, put in subheadings. Do whatever you can to make it easy to scan, easy to read. If you just put in big blocks of text, really big, boring, long, complex sentences, people will not read your description. Optimizing lectures is a really important tip. Your lectures should be, I believe, 3 to 5 minutes long. And in order to do that, you need to be very concise and clear about the content that you're delivering. So each lecture has to have a clear objective. And don't forget, when you produce your lecture, it needs to have an internal structure, which is very simple. You introduce it, you teach it, and then you tell people what you've taught. So introduce, teach, and summarize. So following that formula for lectures, you won't go far wrong. There are 3 essential lectures, 2 of which you have to include in your Udemy course, one of which is strongly recommended. And they are the summary and wrap up, then the introduction, and then the promotion lectures. And you have to create them, I recommend, in that order. So create your course, then do the summary and wrap up, then go back and do the introduction. And then when you've done all that, only then create the promotional video. And you'll see the logic of that, because you'll understand the content much better after you've created the course, and then you can create these extra additional lectures. Let's just talk about the promotional lecture or video for a moment. This, Udemy says it should be 1 to 2 minutes. I think it's quite difficult to do it in under 3. But in this, you need to get a few really key points across. First of all, introduce who you are and your expertise. Then give a very brief overview of the course. Explain the key benefits. Remember what's in it for me. Make sure you make it clear for whom the course is intended. So address the audience that you're trying to get across to. And make sure at the end, and so many people forget this, that you have a call to action. Tell people at the end of your video what you want them to do, which is to enroll in your course. Now, adding resources to your courses is a great way to get lots of love from students, but at the same time it's a very easy way to add additional content to your course to actually make it much more complete, much more interesting. Now you can do this in some simple ways. You can create a PDF of every slide deck and you can add that and make it downloadable. It's very easy, particularly with something like ScreenFlow, to create an MP3, an audio track of your course, which you can then again make downloadable so people can take it away and listen to it. Produce summary text documents of your lectures if that's going to be helpful, but checklists and templates are particularly popular. So anything you can do to add additional resources, whether it's images, text, audio, video, whatever it is, to your course, is a great way to make your course stand out and go from good to great. Let's talk about video for a couple of minutes. Now, you really are strongly encouraged to produce 720p HD video in Udemy. And the problem that I've found with my iMac, wonderful as it is, big Apple fanboy, is that the FaceTime camera on it isn't HD. So I would strongly recommend that you get an HD webcam if you're using a Mac, or whatever you're using, make sure the camera and the webcam is HD. You should, wherever possible, have a clean background behind you when you're working. So hands up, got that wrong. You're in my crowded study. This is the environment I work in. So this is what you're getting from me, and that's my style. but it would be one easy way to improve my courses. The trouble is my study is so full of stuff, all my man cave stuff, that it's actually very difficult for me to find any corner where I can create a clean background for making my videos. Make sure your video is steady. So if you're using some sort of standalone camera, stick it on a tripod so it's absolutely rock steady. And don't forget HD 720, which means widescreen, 16:19 ratio, 1280 by 720 pixels is what you're looking for. Audio is everything. People will sit and watch a bad video for quite a while, but they won't put up with poor audio. So do invest in a good USB microphone. I use a Blue Yeti. There are plenty others out there, and I'm not trying to sell you on the Blue Yeti, but having a good quality microphone, which doesn't need to cost you much more than about $100, and there are some which are a lot less money than that, is really important. Ensure the environment you're recording in has no background noises. Now, to make this video, I've had to move my dog back into the kitchen. Much as I love him, he gets very impatient when he hears my voice when I'm recording the video, and he'll come up and see me, or he'll distract me, or he'll go and bark at something at the window. So anything like that, you need to get the noise out the room. And you really must get a pop filter for your microphone. If your microphone's in front of your face and you get this popping sound of the air coming on the microphone, it's really annoying. A pop filter's about $10, so an absolutely necessary investment. Lighting is very important too, but it doesn't need to be expensive or complicated. It needs to be balanced, flicker free and shadow free, and you can achieve this by having a number of different light sources around you, as little as 3 actually. You can have 1 in front and then 2 lighting on the side. I've got a number of downlighters, and then I have lights bouncing off the ceiling, and I just move them around depending on what I need, given I've got some very big windows on one side of my office and I've got a small window on the other side, so I have to balance the lighting arrangements all the time. But getting your lighting right is important. Making eye contact with the camera is critical. Now, I do have the notes on the screen. I do refer to them. But if you can, well, you should, as much as possible, look into the center of that camera and talk to it. Another great tip is to have the camera positioned slightly above your natural eye line. As I'm looking to you now, it looks more or less normal, but the camera is actually sitting on the top of my screen at about that height. So I'm looking slightly up at it, but it's a much better posture for your body than if it was down here and I was looking like that. And perhaps you can see the difference. I hope you can. Branding. I wouldn't overdo this, but you do need to put your own personal stamp on all your videos and try to have some consistency. I like to have the same format for my intro and outro slide, and I hope you can see that if you've seen more than one of my videos. Make it simple, but make it standard. And I have a little music clip which I've taken from GarageBand, which is royalty-free music. And that's a really good, nice little way to introduce it. Now, some people have got quite complicated little intro videos which last anything from 5 to 10 seconds. But they do require video skills beyond my capability to create these little moving gambits that they introduce their courses with. So I keep it pretty simple, but it works for me, and therefore I can keep controlling it. Now, let's talk a little bit about what happens after you publish your course. And the first thing I'd like to point out is that students sell courses. Yes, I know you think you're selling the course, but you can get your students to sell your courses. And the way that happens is by getting plenty of enrollments in your courses very quickly, because that gives social proof to your courses, and it helps to convince other people that your course is a high quality, popular course. It's more likely they'll involve in it. And you should be prepared, if necessary, when you first launch, to give your course away, even if you only do it to your very closest circle, to get people into the course, to give it that credibility. Now, going on with social proof, people want to know, will this course work for me? And ratings and reviews are key to this. So you should be encouraging people to leave you 5-star ratings and reviews whenever possible. And then when they do, use them, quote them, include them in your marketing. Let them tell people how wonderful your course is in their words. It's so convincing, and it's really important. Now, YouTube is an obvious place to promote your course when you first publish it, because people go to YouTube because they like watching videos. So hey, give them some of your videos. You can give them your promotional video, you can give them your introductory video, and you can give them even one or two of your preview videos, which you're making available free in your course on Udemy. Stick them on YouTube. If you're giving people great content, they'll get inspired, and make sure you've got a link and maybe a discount offer back to your Udemy course, so that when they find your video on YouTube, they'll be motivated to click on the link and go back and buy your course on Udemy. Your email list is one of the strongest weapons you have for growing enrollments once you've published your course. It's relatively simple to create a few little autoresponders and set up a funnel so that if there's an opt-in, somebody can join your list, go down the funnel and give them some content and some value, and teach them about the topic that you're addressing in your course, and hopefully they'll then go and click on the eventual link that you give them with the offer to go and buy your course. But you can also, when you publish, directly email your list and your contacts in your address book, and tell them you've published your course and encourage them to go over and enroll. Now, there are some great Facebook groups out there. In fact, there are over 20 that directly relate to Udemy, excluding the official Udemy groups. And many of these encourage you to promote your course on them because they want you to provide coupon codes that affiliates can pick up and sell. Now, a quick word on affiliates. Affiliates are basically people who are going to go out and present your courses to their audience in return for a take of the course. These are sales you wouldn't otherwise get, so it's very good news. On Udemy at the moment, you get 25% of an affiliate sale. I'd much rather have 25% of nothing than nothing. So 25% of the course sale than nothing. So definitely do that. And when you post these coupons, other people will pick them up and put them into their affiliate campaigns or post them in other places. So there can be a multiplier effect from doing this. Facebook's a great place to go out and systematically promote your courses. Udemy promotions, you can send out a promotion to a paid course twice a month. So if you have an existing course and existing students on Udemy, you can cross-sell to them. And this is really important. But I'll give you another trick, which I learned recently, which is to straddle the month end. So you send out one promotion, maybe it's a 7-day window, or you're sending out a 7-day offer, and you send it out 3 or 4 days before the end of the month. People get paid at the end of the month. So at the beginning of the month, they have money. And so you then remind them a day before the offer closes, again inside the new month, that the offer is out there, and that will also create another wave of people signing up to your courses. Twitter is a great place, once you hit that publish button, to go out and tell people about your course. Create campaigns and promote it. And if you haven't got a Twitter account, create one. And maybe consider creating a Twitter account dedicated to the topic covered in your course. And then you can share information and content about your topic on that channel, and then add in offers from time to time to encourage people listening to the channel to actually go and buy your course. Let's talk about engagement, because one of the best ways to grow your students' sales is to create a real sense of engagement with your students once they've signed up to your course. So you need to be available, and that means that when you see somebody commenting on your course, you need to respond quickly to the question or whatever the comment is. And even if they leave a comment to say they're really enjoying the course, go back and say thank you very much for the comment. Even if it doesn't need an answer, go back and answer it. And you can always say, oh, would you please, move this on to the ratings and reviews and leave a rating and review as well? It'd be really helpful. And very often they'll do that. You can post updates, and that increases a sense of engagement. And one really useful trick, I wouldn't do this too often, but I have done it once or twice, is where somebody's struggling with the topic, offer them a direct Skype call one-to-one. Don't charge them for it. Just say, look, come on, you're struggling with this. Let me help you. Let's set up a Skype call. Now, you can say, and I've done this, if we do the one-to-one, would you let me turn this into a case study? Or, better than that, even if you don't turn it into published content, listen to what they're telling you about what they're struggling with, because this provides you with great content for either additional lectures or indeed a completely new course. And you don't have to talk about them specifically, but they're telling you their problems, and you can pick up those questions and then answer them in lectures or in courses. Let's just look at a few final tips about. These are really arising from questions I've been asked in the past. And one of these is, do I have to be in the video? Well, actually, no, you don't have to be in the video. It's completely acceptable if you're shy about being in front of the camera. It's completely acceptable to just have a screen and be speaking over it. But I would encourage you to appear in your promotional video at the very least, and maybe even in your introductory video as well. It's important to the students to get a sense of who you are, and therefore to strengthen that engagement and that bond with them, because they'll have a picture and a feeling for the person you are, as opposed to just being a detached voice playing over the videos. Well, you do all this work, will my courses sell? Can you guarantee that I'm going to get sales? Well, in essence, no, I can't guarantee anything of the sort. But I do believe, and my experience has shown me, that if you produce a great course, it will sell. And, if you made the effort and you followed, a lot of these tips that I provided you with, then, you remember there are 4 to 5 million students now on Udemy, and there must be some out there for whom your topic and your course is the exact answer to their problem. So have confidence in yourself, produce a great course, and yes, I do believe your course will sell. Finally, competition. Somebody has said, oh, well, somebody else has made my course. Is this a problem? Should I make something else? Well, actually, yes, you can make a better course than the original course you've seen already on Udemy. But the fact that that course is there confirms to you that there's a market for it. And by producing a greater course, there's a very good chance that the students who are enrolled in the first course will come across and enroll in yours at the same time. So actually, you're going to increase the size of the market. Now, here we are. I promised you a secret bonus, and here it is. If you're interested in creating your own online course, then you can enroll in my online course, which will show you how to do this. And this is the course where I've packed in really all the detail behind my own experience to fast track you to creating great online courses and to financial success. And all you have to do is to click on the link below this video and benefit from the exclusive discount I've built into that for you to take that step forward and to launch yourself on the successful path to becoming a successful and wealthier online course instructor. So there you are, 25 tips to make great Udemy courses, basically. But lots of things that I'm doing day to day to make my courses bigger, better, more successful. And hopefully you can pick up some of these very specific, very actionable tips, apply them to what you're doing with your Udemy courses, and I wish you a huge amount of success. I hope you found this really helpful, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon in another one of my videos.